Digitization should have been the game changer in Nigeria's broadcast industry. However, the delay in completing the process has set Nigeria back by at least 17 years. What is digitization and why is it such a big deal?
It was a decision that was taken as far back as 2007 when it was decided that for television to have more channels, there was a decision to abide with the new technology, and that is switching from the analog to digital.
What's the digital switchover? It was actually an attempt to make sure that all the sub-regional operators, the broadcasters, the telecoms companies, they were able to interplay and take over from one another.
6 years after the nation signed up for the process, the federal government issued a white paper for the implementation of the migration process. The International Telecommunications Union took the decision to implement the migration because of the potential of scarcity of global spectrum for telecommunication firms. The Nigeria Communication Commission is expected to mop up the spectrum and sell to telecom companies who actually need it more. According to the 2012 white paper, when digital switchover coverage hits at least 90%, the nation can switch off analog broadcast. Though the federal government would eventually launch the project on April 30, 2016, including at least 5 subsequent state capitals, no state in Nigeria has succeeded in achieving complete switchover. The federal government has shifted the deadline for the migration at least 3 times.
The political will is a major factor. Funding from government is a major factor. There is no country where they have achieved digital migration from analog to digital that government did not back it heavily.
Government has not shown enough commitment. For example, they made promises of some billions of naira that were never granted.
The initial stage of this project, government used to finance it. That is what we call the seed grant given by government to various stakeholders that are involved in this project. But as time goes on, we realize that it's not possible for government to keep financing this project.
Although there have been some release of funds, the stakeholders are asking for more funding. Even though the National Broadcasting Commission reports that some monies were released for the purchase of set-top boxes for the first phase, the former Minister of Information, Mr. Lai Mohammed, is quoted as saying that the Federal Executive Council approved a sum of 9.4 billion naira as outstanding payment to key DSO stakeholders. It is still not clear how much has been spent so far on the project. The Nigeria Communications Commission has already sold the 700 and 800 megahertz spectrum, which houses most subnational television states and some private stations. In the meantime, television broadcasters have already been asked to vacate the 600 megahertz spectrum ahead of its planned sale. In March 2023, the Commission put the broadcast frequency up for sale with alleged plans to accelerate the migration.
We are only able to cover 8 states. But now we realize that it's not just going to state making ceremonies, conducting ceremonies that matters, but how to get a very, very wide coverage. That's the most important. That's why we came up with the system of SIM-Crypt, whereby ITS and StarTimes will come together with the, the free TV stakeholders to come up with 1 box and 2 cards, whereby you just buy a box, and StarTimes has massive infrastructure across the country. So once this is achieved, we don't have to go state by state launching DSO. We'll just switch off DSO because the coverage will be there.
There are consequences for delay in migrating, especially if neighboring countries achieve full digitization. This would affect television broadcasting in some parts of the country. The National Broadcasting Commission is hoping to work with the stakeholders to ensure a one-off launch of the process.